Good morning. Welcome to another One Mind meditation. Welcome to this beautiful Thursday morning. This week we don't have the work of just one teacher to guide us into our daily meditations, but we have a whole host of wisdom to choose from this week. Somebody, good morning. Hello, great seeing you. Today's meditation is about this flower, or really about the message that this flower brings to us. Danae, good morning. Honey, good morning. Hello, awesome seeing you. So let's get into today's message. What could this flower be here to teach us? You were created to create. You are a natural creator. Look at the natural world around you, every flower, every animal, every tree. See how every expression is an act of creation. And why would you be any different? Charlene, good morning. Great seeing you. Hello. Every one of your expressions is an act of creation. But the difference between you and this flower is that your ability to express has no limits. For the flower, this one expression is it. But it doesn't matter, because by showing up and being its true self, this flower is of service to the world around it. And the same is true for you. By truly being you and doubling down on the you that you really are, without perhaps realizing it, you will serve and shape and support the life all around you. But you have the limitless freedom to experiment and play with endless ways of creating until you have found the expressions that make you the most you. So try them all. Maggie, good morning. Great seeing you. Hello, Antoinette. Good morning. It's awesome seeing you. Right, a few thoughts on this topic. Bruce Lee said, life is wide, limitless. There is no border. There is no frontier. Joanne Starr says, the limitations that you embrace, they become your life. Choose to be limitless. Laurie Myers says, you become limitless when you overcome what holds you back. Whenever you overcome anything that has held you back, you're stepping into your limitless nature. And this next thought is from Unknown. I don't know who wrote this one. Once you become fearless, life becomes limitless. Once you overcome the fear, you likewise step into your limitless nature. We often limit ourselves, confining our potential to a narrow box of expectations and self-doubt. Yet within each of us lies a boundless universe of creativity, waiting to be explored. Today, let's embark on a journey to unlock that limitless potential and embrace our true nature as creators. There are ways in which you can create that you have not discovered yet. Embrace your limitless nature. If you're ready, you can close your eyes and let's float away together. Starting with the first few big breaths. Here we go. Take a deep breath in and out. A deep breath in and out. A deep inhale and let it go. Deep breath in and out. One more big breath in. And let it all flow away. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose gets drawn all the way deep down into your belly. And as you fill up your belly with air, also raise yourself up. As you breathe in, stretch out your spine, lift the top of your head toward the ceiling. And once you've reached your full height, then let all of it go. With every exhale, soften. With every breath out, soften your spine, slump down your shoulders, and drop your head. Continue your own full body breathing. Feel yourself rise with every inhale. And feel yourself slowly, slowly fall with every exhale. And while you do, join me for a walk through the garden. This could be the garden right outside your front door. It could be a memory of the most beautiful garden you have ever been in. Or it could simply be a fantasy garden. Something that your imagination comes up with. Take a stroll through this garden and find in this garden your favorite flower. Pick the flower and for the moment tuck it away in your hair or behind your ear and have a seat in this garden. Continue your full body breathing while you take in the smells of this garden. What smells would you become aware of in this garden? What sounds would you become aware of in this garden? feel the breeze in this garden and just imagine what this breeze would feel like on your skin. We'll take the last few big breaths of this phase together, helping our bodies stretch and adjust and settle down into as much comfort as possible for the rest of our journey. Take a deep breath in. As you release, drop your head all the way forward and roll out your neck muscles forward and to the left and forward and to the right in big half circles. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders forward in big, slow circles. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders backwards in big circles, nice and slow. Take a deep breath in. And as you release, focus on your spine. Lean your upper body over to the left. And lean your upper body over to the right. One more big breath in. And as you release, you can stretch or move or adjust any part of your body that still needs a bit of help settling down. Having softened our bodies into a state of presence, or at least becoming as present as we possibly can be right now, we can now turn our attention inwards and dive deep inside for the next part of our journey. With every next inhale, we'll hold our breath for a few short moments, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. If you don't have the time to sit for the whole meditation with us, then this is always a good place to stop. But if you are here for the whole journey, we'll take the next few big breaths together. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, make it a really long, really slow exhale. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, feel into your body. Feel how softness slips into your body and settles in every part of your body. One more big breath in and hold. And as you release, feel yourself melting. Feel your whole body dissolving. Feel how you are slipping into a deeper level of surrender with every slow exhale. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose is an invitation. It invites you to turn inwards and follow this journey. As you breathe in, feel the air flow in through your nostrils. Feel the air touch the back of your throat. Stay with your breath as it flows in through your lungs. And as you fill up the balloon inside your belly, feel yourself slip all the way in. Hold your breath. But hold it only for as long as it feels easy, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. With your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, I want to remind you of the flower you picked in that beautiful garden a few moments ago. Hold this flower by its green stem between your fingers and take a really good look. Take your next big breath. Take a closer look at the green stem that you're holding between your fingers. And open your mind to what flower stems generally look like. Some of them are quite thick and almost hollow. Some of them are slightly hairy. Some flower stems are smooth and some are lined and almost woody. What would this flower's stem look like, the one you're holding between your fingers? Take a good look as you take your next big breath. Follow this green stem up to the base of the flower and watch as the green stem turns into a little green bowl. A little green bowl that cups the base of this flower. It almost looks like two hands cupped together. If you look at the little green leaves, the green petals arranged around the base of the flower. As you take a deep breath and dive deep into you, marvel at this perfection. How a green stem morphs into this little green bowl, holding the flower secure. Take your next big breath. Then take a good look at the underside of the flower, the underside of the petals of this flower. The texture is always different than seeing it from the front. Pay attention to the texture and the color on the underside of the flower's petals. Take your next big breath. Now turn the flower over and see it from the front. Draw your attention specifically to the edges of the petals. Some flowers have perfectly smooth edges to the petals. Other flowers have beautifully frilled edges. Trace the edges of the petals with your finger all around the flower, and watch how it is arranged around the center of this flower. And often we can see a perfect geometric pattern in the arrangement of the petals. Take your next big breath. And now take a good look at the front-facing part of the petals. How is the texture on the front of the petals different than on the back? And take a good look at the color of the petals. For some flowers, the color is perfectly uniform. And for other flowers, there is a shading to this color. Take a look at the flower in your hand and pay attention to the texture and the color of the petals. Take your next big breath. Now draw your attention to the very center of this flower, where the reproductive organs are. For some flowers, this can be a yellow, spongy circle, or even green. For other flowers, it might be more trumpet shape, descending into the depths of the flower. And we have to marvel at the perfection of this design. How this flower attracts insects, not just for its own purpose, but for the benefit of the insects too. And then have the insects help pollinate and multiply. see that whole process happening in the center of this flower. Take your next big breath. We'll take the last few big breaths of this phase together, slipping out of the breath-holding space and into the next. Take a deep breath in and hold. And as you release, make it a really long, really slow exhale. Take a deep breath in and hold. And as you release, feel how softness slips in and settles in every cell of your body. One more big breath in and hold. And as you release, feel yourself slip all the way through. There is no more attention on your breathing. You can sit all the way back or even lie all the way back down and feel yourself just floating. When we take a look at a flower, we are really quick to exclaim perfection. And rightfully so, of course. What a marvel this is. And we easily glance over any imperfections because they're always there. Even if you don't see them at first, if you search, you'll find the group of cells that did not divide perfectly. And you'll see the disformation, the disfiguration, and if you search, you'll probably find that in more than one place. But when you look at this flower, you'll happily say, oh, it is perfect in its imperfection. This is just the way it's meant to be. It's being its authentic self. When you look at you, do you use the same lens or do you exchange it for something a lot harsher? Do you put on the lens that only sees the imperfections and refuses to see anything else? Because, and there's real truth to this, as amazing as this flower is, in comparison to you, it's really pale. Because as amazing as this flower we just looked at, as amazing as it is, this is all it has. This one singular expression. There's nothing more. And you, beautiful human, the ways in which you have been able to express yourself already, they're not countable. We couldn't even start to count the ways in which you've already found to express yourself. And there are ways in which you can create that you have not even discovered yet. Compared to this beautiful flower, you are limitless. I want to read these quotes from this morning to you again. Quotes that support this idea. Bruce Lee says, "Life is wide, limitless. There is no border, no frontier." Joanne Starr says, "The limitations you embrace become your life." Don't embrace limitations, choose to be limitless. Laurie Myers says, "You become limitless when you overcome what has held you back." And a quote from an unknown author, "Once you become fearless, life becomes limitless." Sometimes when we read quotes like this, it makes us think that if we are limitless, then the only acceptable thing to do would be to do really big things, change the world, be a Steve Jobs or an Elon Musk. And that's really just not true. We've seen the example of the flower today, and I'll give you one more simple example. A little woodland squirrel spending his life gathering nuts, hiding them away in places, and objectively observing this squirrel, it might be very easy to think it's really silly. Because while it stores nuts to eat it later, it forgets anywhere between 50 to 80% of the nuts that it stored. It forgets where it's hidden them. So it would be easy to think, silly squirrel, until you notice the thousands of trees that this squirrel has planted in its lifetime. And if you've ever had to maintain a property where squirrels do this, you'd very quickly see how oak trees start coming up where squirrels have buried the acorns. In the big picture, we are all contributing. And it's certainly not just big things that change the world at scale that count. Just where you are, just being who you are. There are ways in which you can express yourself that you have not discovered yet. And it would make a difference to the environment around you. We don't need to compare ourselves to flowers to say we are better. But what's even worse is looking at yourself and only seeing the worst. May you use the same lens to look at yourself as you just used to look at this flower. And may you fall in love with your limitless nature. We have the last 5 breaths of gratitude to do together. With every exhale, I'll say my thank you, and I invite you to say yours. Let's take a deep breath in. Thank you for this incredibly beautiful flower. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for the message from this flower. It says, you can do more. You're not limited to one expression. You can do more, so you should be curious about what you can do. And you should keep trying and trying and trying until you find the thing that makes you the most you. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for learning how to look at ourselves through the same lens we use when we look at this flower. Can we see our imperfections as perfectly imperfect? One more big breath in. Thank you, beautiful people. Thank you for taking this stroll with us. Thank you for going on this journey of the flower along with us. Take a moment today to pick a flower and have a good look. I love the thought process that says perhaps flowers are responsible for human consciousness. Perhaps there was a moment when something, a very early human, was not really awakened yet and took a moment to pause looking at a flower. And perhaps there was a moment where for the first time something recognized beauty. Can you imagine that there might have been a moment like that, the first moment when a profound sense of beauty and awe was recognized? And it's possible that flowers played a role in that. Tanya, very good morning. Great seeing you with us. Hello. Harda, good morning. Thank you so much for visiting. Charlene, thank you. Sunmari, thank you. Antoinette, thank you. Danae, thank you. Maggie, thank you for being here. Have a beautiful day, beautiful people. Remember to look at yourself the same way that you would look at a flower. See you soon. Ciao, ciao.